Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. It is not pompous, not inflated, self-seeking, vengeful. No human being can love like that all the time. Only God can do that. And God's love lasts even beyond death. In short, the Lord tells us to love like he does, selflessly, with our whole being. That's God's plan for us. Dear Patrick and Jackie, you are entering today into the life of marriage, God's loving plan for man and woman to come together as a symbol of God's love for us. The love with which you want to love one another is, with God's help, meant to be as deep as the ocean and high as the sky, just like God's love for his people. And so, Patrick, love Jackie with all your heart, soul, and mind. Love her with the self-sacrificing love that God loves with. And Jackie, you do the same. For when we give love, we enter into God, who is love. That